Hi guys, welcome to FC, and we have another edition with the famous PJ from 2026 World Cup Investor on Instagram. And today we are going to be talking about the most amazing rise of football cards, soccer cards. Amongst the hobby, we have a lot of graphs and tables to show you, and facts and figures to show you the explosion of football cards in the last few months, going up on PSA's website to show the population and compare that to other American sports, US sports, such as baseball, hockey, football, and we've also got wrestling and golf and Pokemon even. So let's get into it. So PJ, welcome. We've got we've got a lot of things to show. So kick us off.
Thank you for having me. So it's good to be back on the best soccer-related card channel on YouTube.
With a nice shirt there again.
Thank you very much. It's summer now, so got to get the Hawaiian shirts out. So basically, first chart, as you can see, is up on the screen. This is as of November 2020. This is the total number of graded cards for each sport on PSA. Baseball, 16.1 million graded cards, which sounds like a lot, which it is a lot, let's be honest. Baseball is the granddaddy of the hobby. I think that is the only reason why the grading companies exist, was initially to grade vintage baseball cards specifically. We have football, and in this case, when you see football on the screen, football would be American football or gridiron, 4.7 million cards. Basketball, 3.3 million. Trading cards, collectible trading cards. So that's Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not even sure what else would fit under that. But we have 1.5 million cards. Hockey, ice hockey, 1.4 million. Golf, 154,000. Boxing, 115,000. And soccer, right at the bottom, 62,453 graded cards, which does not sound like a lot at all.
That's a tinier fraction of the graded cards on PSA's website right now. Back in November, that's it, 2020. A tiny fraction compared to baseball.
Baseball, the great granddaddy. I mean, soccer compared to baseball, that is... I don't even know how to work that out. That's less than one.
Well, you can see on the graph that it's a tiny gold slither, about 12 o'clock on the graph there on the chart, next to the white part. So yeah, that's a tiny slither there, with the other sports in gray.
The next sheet we're going to look at.
Yeah, so this one here is... So what we've got here is the increase from November to March. So from that first graph, that was November. And from November to March this year, we've got soccer in the gold there, increasing by almost 1,200%. So it's a huge gain.
It's almost off the charts.
Yeah, it is off the charts, actually. It's explosion onto the market there with people grading. So we've got soccer at 1,200% rise. Baseball is down 52%. Football gridiron down 35%. We have basketball up 245%. Pokemon 155%. Hockey down 74%. Golf down almost 70%. And boxing and wrestling down 64%. I mean, the only other sports that have gone up are basketball and Pokemon.
Yeah, I just want to let the viewers know so I started tracking this information in November. And then this is for the last 5 months till the end of March. And then what we'll do is, I think we'll probably do this every 3 months or at the end of the quarter, showing the updated information. But yeah, soccer, I mean, huge increase, 1,187% increase in the last 5 months.
Explosion, absolute explosion here.
We all know, everybody knows that soccer is becoming popular, but this just shows you how much well, how popular exactly it is. Basketball as well has been probably a huge, well, if you go online, if you go on Instagram, on YouTube, people are talking about basketball cards, especially Prism. That has been one of the biggest things in the hobby, and has led to the kind of explosion of the hobby, or the rejuvenation of the hobby. So basketball up 245%, it's historical numbers. Pokemon and trading cards in general up 155%. We've seen some crazy sales of Charizard. I'm not really into Pokemon. I don't think you are either. So I only know Charizard and Pikachu really, but that's been extremely popular. And then the rest of the sports, wow, have taken a huge dip. I mean, baseball and football, that is big numbers to drop, considering they have so many graded cards originally. Baseball down 52%, football down 35%. I mean, hockey, golf, boxing. I mean, what would you reckon are some of the reasons why? I mean, everybody knows soccer's been so popular, but why has hockey, golf, boxing, those other sports, why do you think they have taken such a dip?
I have no idea. I thought everything was going up. I mean, if you consider these numbers, these would have been cards graded back in, probably spring, summer, even, over the lockdowns and everything. So these would come in, 7-8 months, I would say, into PSA. They were taking that long at the time. My ones from February last year took up to October, September, October. So, I mean, yeah, you're looking at sort of springtime, and these would have been realized around November. So, beginning of summer. So I have no idea. I must say the basketball cards would have, jumped up because of maybe the Jordan, the Jordan documentary, and then people putting in a lot of cards, but their basketball cards, seeing those rise in price. But for other sports, I don't really know why that has gone down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in some golf memorabilia groups, believe it or not. Very nerdy thing. And when it comes to golf cards, I find it extremely boring, because the only person in the hobby that matters is Tiger Woods. And Tiger Woods has even though he made his kind of debut, it was like 96, 97, his rookie card in the hobby is considered from 2001, just because there were no golf cards in the late 90s. He does have a Sports Illustrated card from 96, which is considered the granddaddy. So like, he doesn't really have that many cards, but I think golf, a bit boring. Boxing and wrestling, and that also includes MMA. So there's been a little bit of a resurgence with.
I would have said wrestling would have gone up. Wouldn't have gone down, especially after Gary Veast, really promoted that quite a lot that was in spring. That should see, but maybe people are really getting to soccer. I mean, those numbers, nearly 1,200% rise. And I mean, that was only then, people putting in their cards from sort of beginning of summer and realizing those in November to March. I mean, what about after the Messi card that, sold for $117,000?
That's exactly.
People putting in their cards after that to
they haven't been. And if you submitted in bulk in June, or no, that was August, wherever that sale was.
That was August, September. So if you put your cards in then, you probably get them back, maybe in a couple of months still, So
it's very tough to kind of get an accurate reflection of where the market is, because, so that's, again, if we start doing this every 3 months, as we go on in the year, we'll see.
Yeah, clearer.
Will be more accurate, because as you said, some people would have sent these a month ago, some people would have sent them 9 months ago. There could potentially be 1 million soccer cards sitting at PSA in a warehouse. I mean, I have 1,600 cards sitting at PSA, so I think the pop might change in hopefully 9 months time. I know a few of the vintage collectors in the vintage Discord group, there's some other guys with over 1,000 cards, some have 2,000 cards.
I've easily got 1,000 PSA slabs, and I'm going to send in another maybe 400 or 500. So, there's another load. I know there's some big collectors and I won't say their names, but there's some big collectors sending in, you know, a lot of cards as well. So for soccer, for football. So it looks really promising. You've got the Asian markets getting involved, South America now, and Central America. You know, it's exploding in Europe. I know in Britain, everyone's looking at companies to submit to, like Graded Gem, and you know, there's other companies to send to PSA. Yeah, it's absolutely exploding. So yeah, I just see it just growing, and I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't doubt that 1200% could turn into maybe 2000%, you know, the next time we have this, because
it's really,
this was before the Messi rookie card, I would say, if you're sending them in economy.
Yeah, I mean, I sent most of mine in bulk because I'm a cheap bastard. But I mean, yeah, a lot of people would obviously send in, you know, express, just depending on, or you know, what they sent in, if it's high end stuff.
I don't think many people would actually. I don't think many people would send in express if you're talking about rookie cards for Pele. Sorry, not Pele, but Messi or Ronaldo, CR7. You're talking very, very few, because I mean the population is just so low for them, even still on PSA's website from today. I've just had a look. So those numbers would be, you know, tiny. I think people were putting in a lot of big names.
Yeah.
A lot of vintage, but yeah, we should
probably more modern though.
Numbers.
More modern, I reckon, and we'll get to that at the end of this this video. All right, so let's go to something else now. So this is something interesting. This is I call this the ratio. This is the soccer card ratio. So basically in November 2020, for every one single soccer card graded, there was 259 baseball cards graded. Just to give you, or just to give everyone an idea of how popular soccer was compared to baseball, which is, you know, the most popular sport overall, according to PSA grading, which is quite amazing. So for every Messi card submitted, there was 259 baseball cards submitted historically. That is crazy numbers.
What's that? Sorry, for every soccer card submitted.
For every soccer card, for every one soccer card, there was 259 baseball cards submitted. Wow.
I mean, you'd expect that, looking at the graph before the first graph with 16 million to our tiny slither, you know, of soccer cards.
We've talking about soccer's explosion in the last 5 months. Now that number in the last 5 months, for every soccer card graded, there's only 9.4 baseball cards graded. So that shows you how soccer has grown, well, compared to baseball, and maybe how baseball has kind of taken a little dip. So from 1 to 259, from 1 to 259 to 1.94. That is huge. So now in the last 5 months, only 9.4 baseball cards have been graded for every soccer card graded.
Which is insane. That is crazy. I mean, that just shows you the explosion of soccer. I think people, you know, investors are really seeing where to put their money and start grading cards. So this is going to make a massive impact.
Yeah, and not only investors, I mean, just collectors too. You know, I think people, you know, soccer is, there's no doubt it's the world sport. It's the global game. It's the only global game. 2.5 billion fans. You know, the World Cup is, I don't know, 10 times bigger than the Super Bowl. You know, so many more soccer fans out there.
Right, the next one we have is football, and that's Gridiron. And on the 3rd of November 2020, for every soccer card submitted to PSA, there were 76 American football cards submitted. So yeah, not as much as baseball, but still quite a huge number. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, so baseball was what 1 to 259. So this one's 1 to 76. That's still a lot. That's still so much bigger than soccer at that time.
So when I tell you from November to March, for every soccer card submitted, you would get just 4 American football cards. That
is a huge decrease for football. Sorry, I'm like American football. I'm getting very confused when we're talking about football and soccer, but we could be comparing American football. Oh, that is a huge decrease. Wow. I mean, I'll have to remember. I can't remember those numbers that we mentioned previously, but so American football was the second most graded sport.
Yeah, we're going in order of graded cards per sport.
That's a huge, huge decrease. So now let's look at basketball. So on the 3rd of November, for every soccer card graded, there was 54 basketball cards graded. So just below football. Football was, 76. Basketball now dropped to 54, 1 to 54. And then in the last 5 months, 14.3. For every soccer card graded, there was 14.3 basketball cards graded. So I think that shows you how well soccer has done, because basketball has, basically the second biggest sport, the only American sport really growing for PSA. So for the ratio to drop from 54 to 14.3, I think soccer's done pretty well.
Yeah. Next we have Pokemon cards. And this chart shows the ratio of cards submitted to PSA. We've got 1 soccer card, and Pokemon, you'd have 24 Pokemon cards to 1 soccer card graded in November. So yeah, what do you think of that market?
I mean, I don't understand it at all, but I know that traditionally, Pokemon, I think it's been around since 1999, I want to say. So it's, almost coming up on its 25-year anniversary in a few years, which apparently is going to be a big boom for collectors. So yeah, I mean, I honestly thought Pokemon would probably be bigger than soccer, even bigger than those numbers. But that's still, 24 to 1. That is huge.
Yeah. Still, it really is, isn't it? Because it's not like it's been going for decades and decades. Yeah. This is relatively new as well. So yeah, massive number, I think, 24 to 1. So next chart we're going to show is the change of ratio from November to March. And for every 1 soccer card, you would get 4.7 Pokemon cards. So an amazing change there as well.
Jeez, that is, soccer's done, again, really well. Basically, all our charts, we're just going to show how amazing soccer's at. So, I mean, we've spoken about this. Everybody knows that soccer is popular at the moment, but these charts, hopefully these charts and graphs will just show the average person just how popular soccer has become. And hopefully get them to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be even bigger in the coming months, and especially when we'll get to the Euros, and then we've got the World Cup next year. It's just going to grow exponentially. And then we've got in a couple more years after that, we've got the World Cup in America, in North America. So
can't wait.
I mean, could we see soccer just taking over? I mean,
we hope so. Right.
So yeah, next we've got ice hockey. So for every soccer card you would submit in November up to 3rd of November, we had 23 hockey cards submitted. So yeah, you'd expect that with North Americans placing a lot of hockey cards in. I think I even did at one point right at the beginning of collecting. So, and from there, today, from November until March, we have 2.2 soccer cards for every 1 hockey card. So yeah.
That's amazing. So basically the ratio has been reversed now.
Yeah. And that's how much soccer has grown. Incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing. So let's see the next sport. So we have golf cards. So golf, I think, I was surprised to find that golf cards are even a graded thing, to be honest. So traditionally, we had, for every soccer card graded, we had 2.5 golf cards graded.
I would have said that, I would have thought that there'd be more soccer cards than golf cards.
Oh, absolutely. To have more golf cards graded than soccer seems to be a bit of a slap in the face, to be honest.
But this is how early we are in the hobby then, in November.
So soccer was, for every soccer card, it was 2.5 golf cards. And then in the last 3 months, you can see the ratios reversed again. Now for every one golf card graded, we have 16.1, I should add, soccer cards graded. So that just shows you how tiny, or how far soccer has gone above golf. I mean, soccer is definitely on the way to being the fourth most popular sport by far. Crazy numbers.
I think the bulk, remember guys, the bulk of soccer cards haven't been graded yet, from that Messi sale that we had in September or September for 117,000, which would have then made a lot of investors buy and submit their soccer cards, and these haven't been realized yet. Those grades haven't been sent back to customers yet from PSA. So I'm sure this will be double, could be 30 to 1 easily next time we do these charts.
We might have to, it might be like off the chart. We might have to might have to minimize it to show how big soccer is. So what's the last sport? We got to wrestling. So wrestling.
We've got one soccer card, and it was but we've got 1.9, so two wrestling cards to every soccer card back in early November, and then from there we've got over 20 soccer cards to one wrestling card, and that is even despite huge craze of wrestling cards. Gary V talking it up as well. Completely.
Again, so when we say wrestling, it's wrestling, boxing, and MMA combined.
Yeah, I mean, even better for the soccer hobby.
So that is crazy. So the last 3 sports, the wrestling, boxing, MMA, golf, and hockey, we've seen these ratios reverse, which is, wow, insane. I mean, especially hockey, considering, hockey's so big in North America in general. Wow, I'm very impressed with soccer. So that's awesome.
PJ, you've got some raw data in front of you. Tell us the numbers there you've got for soccer cards compared to other sports.
Yes, so the last 5 months, where we've got this almost 1,200% growth increase. So in the last 5 months, soccer's had 45,558 cards returned. So this was up until the 3rd of March. By the time you're watching this, you can always look at the pop reports yourself. It'll change every single day. It's amazing to watch the growth. But so soccer, 45,500 cards. Boxing, in the same period, boxing, wrestling, MMA, only graded 2,200. Golf, 2,800. And hockey, 20,000. So while hockey still has about, almost 1.5 million graded cards, soccer about, call it 120,000. By the time you're watching this today, there'll be more graded soccer. Well, I know there are more graded soccer cards than boxing, wrestling, and MMA. And at the moment, the last few months, soccer is averaging between 9,000 and 15,000 graded cards a month, which is, a huge amount. And then at the same time, hockey is only averaging like 2,000 to 5,000 cards a month. So I expect soccer to overtake hockey. Well, even maybe by the time we film this next video, maybe the end of June, July, we could see soccer have overtaken hockey as the 4th most popular sport.
Would you say those numbers are really conservative, being that those numbers are for graded cards, up to that date, which were submitted, 7-8 months, the majority of them in 7-8 months ago.
Absolutely.
And before the Messi sale.
Yeah, so these are very conservative. I mean, these are the real numbers now, but to kind of try forecast what's going to happen in a month, 2 months, 3 months. It's so hard to say because we don't know how many, and still this soccer grading is still so new. It's so tough to predict how many cards were sent in. I mean, already in this 5-month period, soccer's more than doubled its total grading numbers, its total graded cards. I mean, we've spoken about just a few people that we know have probably sent in 10,000 cards.
Myself and another 2 collectors, I think it's 10,000, something like that.
That's
three collectors. So
I've sent in 1,600 to I probably got to do another 500. And I thought I sent in a lot, but I've met some people, and we won't mention their names, but these people have sent in way more than us. And
then you've got to start. We need to collect the data from other grading companies too. It's very, very difficult at the moment. That's not that transparent. So, but you can imagine the amount of cards going into Beckett as well and SGC.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's very companies, but you'd assume it's pretty much similar. Unfortunately, it's very difficult. PSA had the better, pop report, so it was a bit easier for me to kind of collect the data, run the numbers, etc. But in those graphs that we showed you, that the ratios, like one, for every soccer card to 259 baseball cards, and then in the last 5 months went from 1 to 9. That is huge growth. I'm so keen to run this again in 3 months' time to see where it is. So excited for the future. Wow, it's really, really good. And the more graded soccer cards we see on PWCC and just on eBay in general, wow. Yeah. Super.
I think Goldins are really asking. I know they're emailing me all the time just to play some cards with them. But yeah, PWCC as well. Really pushing soccer.
I mean, every auction, there's always a couple hundred more. I think the last PWCC auction, I've been looking at those numbers. I think there was almost 500 soccer cards at auction. I mean,
never was like it was.
So that's amazing. It's really, you can just scroll down. You can see anything from 1915 was the first card the other day, and then up until 2021. So really, really exciting.
Also, Heritage auction house as well. Heritage.
Yeah. So things are looking up.
Yeah, and we've just had the sale of the biggest sale with Maradona's $555,000 card. So yeah.
So you can imagine a lot of maybe his cards, or that wasn't seen as essentially a third-year card. And I personally love that picture. It's amazing. It's my favorite Maradona card by far, even before this crazy sale. So there are a ton of those cards in Italy and in the UK with Panini collectors. So they'll start making their ways to PSA eventually. It's exciting. Really, 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 really exciting.
Okay, PJ, we just have one last chart. So run us through it.
So I've got some little bit more numbers there for us. This is just a breakdown of the graded soccer errors. This was as of, you can see, I think it was the middle of March where these numbers come from. There was 113,000 graded soccer cards. So vintage, we classified that as 1969 and prior. There was only 6,000 cards, so it's only 5.3% of graded cards. Modern vintage, which is from 1970 to 1999, 8,000 cards, which is 7%. Modern, we put that as 2000 to 2013, 12,000 cards, 10.5%. And then ultra modern, we call that 2014 to current, 87,000 cards, so 76.9, so almost 77% of the entire graded soccer the graded soccer population.
Tell us what is in that modern, ultra modern section.
So, ultra modern. Well, when it comes to Prism, I'm generally not a fan of Prism. I know people love it, but basically 2014 Prism, there was 12,400 graded cards. 2018 Prism, we have 16,841 graded cards. Here's some interesting information for you. 2014 and 2018 Prism account for 25% of all graded soccer cards. That is just insane.
And which player?
Okay, so of these modern cards, we have Mbappe. There are more Kylian Mbappe 2018 graded Prism cards.
2014, 2018, yeah, 2018.
There are 6,223. His population is. So that means there are more graded Kylian Mbappe cards from 2018 than the entire soccer vintage. I'm not sure how that makes me feel. I mean, I'm glad that most of my collection is vintage. That is just crazy. It shows you how popular Prism is. So yeah, as the other numbers you can see on the screen, on the chart, I'm just going to quickly read it off. So we have Mbappe, of course, 6,300. 2018, we'll look at Messi. He's got 1,400 graded cards. 2018 Ronaldo, 1,300. Neymar, 501. Mohamed Salah, I was quite surprised at this, 501 graded cards. Marcus Rashford, 801. Timo Werner, 959. I was very, very surprised by that. So almost 1% of graded soccer cards is Timo Werner.
See, that's all these submissions from late summer when he signed for Chelsea.
Absolutely. And then, so that's 2018 Prism. And then if we go back 4 years prior to the first Prism, 2014 Prism, we have Ronaldo, 3,000 graded cards, Neymar, 2,100, and then Messi, 3,400. So together, those 2014, those make up about, what, 7%, just those three players, 7% of the graded population. So then,
vintage? What are we talking about? Vintage.
Okay, so I'm going to take you back to vintage now. So this next sheet, these are the most vintage graded cards by PSA pre-1970. We're calling vintage. So I made the criteria for this a minimum of 40 cards, the qualifications. So this was from the middle of March. Again, if you look it up today, it will be different because PSA grading every single day. So we have the Pele 1959 Hernila. I know you've got a couple of those probably in the background over there. So 110 graded Peles, Hernilas. It's about 1.8% of the total of the era, of the vintage era. Only 0.1% of the total graded cards. Pele Aquarela, this is my favorite Pele.
Yeah, mine too.
Brazil. 1958, there's two backs, so both backs together. We have 95. Bobby Charlton Cadet, 1959. We have 90 graded cards. Bobby Charlton 1958 is A, B, and C, which I love. Great picture. Again, you have some in the background over there. Oh, there we go. Actually, stay still just to your left. Just to the left of Mark's shoulder, we can see that is
that card's so undervalued right now. That's gonna explode.
I agree.
Bobby Charlton rookie card. Robert Charlton.
76 graded cards.
Amazingly low population at PSA.
The Pele Alifa Bolage, number 635, the most expensive Pele card. That's only been graded 72 times. The Kegel, 62. The Bobby Charlton Chick. So I think this is the slightly oversized card, I believe. There is some debate whether that's really 1959 or 1960, but that's been graded 51 times. And then we've got some Panini Calciatoris of Pele from 1964 and 1967, 49 times. The Marca Stella, which is you got a tiny one and then also an oversized card. I really like this one. Pele, that's been graded 46 times. Then there's the Brazil team from the Hernila, 1959. I have one of those at PSA. I think there might be one. There's only been 42 graded. I have one on their way.
I've got about 6 or 7 of those. So
wow,
that's a large population. Just us two.
I know. And then another Calciatori. So Pele has very popular Panini Calciatori stickers, which were released in Italy. The 1965, there's 42. And then the Pele Titulares album from 1958, his number 50 card, that's been graded 40 times.
It's still extremely low populations.
The most graded cards graded by PSA. It's almost nothing. The next sheet I'll show you is what I decided to call modern vintage from 1970 to 1999. Again, I put the qualifying criteria as minimum of 40 graded cards. And the granddaddy Maradona 1979, Mark, you just said a few days ago it sold for $555,000. And Mark's got 2 PSA 9s. If anybody wants to give him a few $100,000, maybe he'll part ways with them. He's actually got 3. He's got a BGS 9, no, BGS 8,
7.5, I think. 7.5.
I'm sorry. So Maradona, it's the most graded vintage card, 169 times. graded by PSA. Together with SGC and BGS, it was about 250 about last month, so that might have changed. And then Mia Hamm is in second place in 1994 with the Upper Deck World Cup card, graded 151 times. So that is quite interesting. I find that Mia Hamm is the second most graded modern vintage card.
Yeah, and that's good money right now.
And then 1996, David Beckham, his rookie, Merlin's Premier League Gold, 124 times. Another Mia Hamm card, Roo or Rooks, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, from 1999, graded 86 times. Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo from Brazil, his Panini Football 78 from Holland, been graded, number 78 from the 1995 football, has been graded 69 times. This is quite interesting and probably a name that maybe some people aren't familiar with. Hirotoshi Nakata, Japanese player, probably the best Japanese player, maybe even the best Asian player of all time. His card from the J League, 56 times graded. We have Pele Rothman. So this was a set 1984. There's also a Maradona from this set. It's a set of 50. I have a couple. I think, Mark, you have two. This was graded 50 times. And you can see we're going Ronaldo, there's Adino Baggio, we'll go down the list, Zidane, 47 times, Beckham from 1998, Upper Deck, 46 times, another Zidane from 1992, graded 42 times, which, we look at these low pop numbers and, we've spoken about how many soccer cards are still to hit PSA, but I mean, even if these were to double or triple, if Maradona's Calciatore were to go to 500 tomorrow, that is still so little compared to, I want one. I'm sure every one of your YouTube followers who would want one, and that's already 500 people.
So we've got one PSA 10 and 14 nines. 14 nines. That's why, a lot of people were saying, like, we're a bit of poo-pooing on the idea that it's not his rookie, but like, to have, Panini is a special brand, of course, in the hobby. Calciatore is their, it's the Italian edition. That's where it started. And he's in his Argentine shirt.
I think, you and I both agree that eye appeal means a lot in this hobby. And I think it's an amazing sticker.
His hair's great. He's
beautiful, like the blue and the white stripes with the yellow. It's art. It really is art. Like, it's beautiful. I don't want to take away from his 1977 disc, but I just think from a display point of view, maybe the discs aren't that great. Like, I just love this Calciatore set. I do have a couple of Maradonas, and I have a couple of Zicos. I do have many set stars from the set. It just displays well this beautiful eye appeal.
It's the Panini brand as well.
And, so even if it were to double or triple tomorrow, I still think the demand would be there, so that's fine. So I'm just going to quickly also talk about Panini World Cup stickers. So, I love World Cup stickers just because it's classic Panini. This is what made Panini famous. They do their World Cup stickers every year, or every World Cup from 1970. I do have lots of Pelés. I know you got a couple too. You were talking about, you have a couple coming back from SGC, which I would love to see them back in black, which is amazing. So Panini stickers, as of 2 weeks ago, there was only 1,725 stickers. So this is just a rundown you'll see on your screen. 1970 has had 125 graded stickers. 1974 and 78, only 50 each. That's nothing. 1982 has only 16 graded cards or graded stickers, and they're all Maradona. 1986 as 25, it's nothing.
I've got two coming back myself, actually. Maradona, two coming back graded.
Oh, of course. Mark's got, as people are knowing watching this, Mark has at least one of everything or two of everything, I should say. But you can see that on this list, the most popular World Cup sticker has been 2018. And that is because almost 33% of all World Cup stickers graded are 2018. And most of those graders, we can show you here, is Mbappe. 344 graded stickers. That's his base, but also the gold, the Swiss edition, which has a gold border. So 20% of all World Cup stickers is just Mbappe, which shows you how how popular Mbappe is in the hobby. He's by far the most popular footballer to be graded then, I reckon.
That will grow and grow and grow.
Oh, absolutely. So
because it's so accessible. I mean, it's so accessible. You have to think when you're investing, what is going to be rare? I mean,
exactly,
early cards and early stickers are the ones to go for. So, I mean, if you want a sticker, then best to go for the 1970 Panini World Cup stickers.
Absolutely. Especially, I always tell people that, I like collecting the stickers, but from an investment point of view, I mean, I wouldn't want to pay thousands, if you have a high grade, I think that's still pretty sought after. And I think even if a modern sticker in the high grade, if you have like a 2006 World Cup sticker or 2010 sticker and a PSA 10, I think that's still cool to keep. But as you can see in this list, this is just the most graded soccer cards. We have Messi and Ronaldo from 2006 World Cup. Messi's has 114 graded cards or graded stickers. Ronaldo 81. So Mbappe 344. That is just crazy from 2018. And then Pele 1970. He's got 51 graded cards, which I'll have. I sent about 13 or 14, so that will change eventually. But that just shows you how tiny World Cup stickers are compared to graded cards.
I'm sure we're going to see a massive change in the next few months in our next edition.
I have one more graph to show us, and this is a bit more modern or a bit more of the GOATs. I know, Mark, you're going to have a lot of what I'm going to show us now. So these are some of the more popular players. We're looking at Messi, his rookie cards. We're looking at Ronaldo, his rookie card and sticker, Mbappe's rookie sticker, and Haaland's Austrian rookie. I consider this to be his true rookie and his only rookie. And if you disagree with me, you can fight me on social media, on Instagram. So we'll just look at Messi quickly. So Messi's Biz 71 Mega Cracks, 268 have been graded, that's nothing, man. That is nothing. And 20 of those...
Put in about 50 myself.
That's crazy. 20 of those are PSA 10. I don't think we're going to see the PSA 10 change anytime shortly.
Yeah.
His Mundi Chromo, 377. His Esther sticker is only 108 graded. I mean, that is...
Which one? 108 graded?
Of his Esther sticker.
Right.
That is nothing.
Only. Wow.
Nothing. We are still, if you want to compare Messi and Ronaldo would be the same age or as LeBron James. When he made his debut, Messi's 2004, Ronaldo's 2002, and LeBron's is 2003. So they're the perfect, I think, comparison. Two GOATs, or basketball GOAT versus the two soccer GOATs. If you look at how many LeBron James graded things there are, it must be hundreds of thousands. I mean, and now we're looking at Messi's rookie sticker, 108. His Mega Cracks, the Barca Mega Crack set, it's a little bit more. We have 400 of the 35, we have 365, and we have 779 for the number 35, the number 62, and the number 89.
The thing is about those is there's a very limited number of those. They were produced in, the market was just Spain.
Correct.
Catalonia for Campio, and Campione for the rest of Spain, but that's it.
And then
are the Spanish gonna start grading their cards they have in folders? Maybe. I know a few that have.
Also, how difficult it is to grade when you're overseas. It's just a lot more.
Yeah,
it's a little bit more tricky.
They'd probably be likely to sell raw. To not do that, maybe.
Dealing with customs and insurance and shipping and blah blah blah. It is a mission, and grading is confusing to people. If you look at the PSA 10, still very tiny. Ronaldo's Mega Cracks, his rookie card. We saw it also sell for 200,000 recently. It broke the 200K mark. Only 137 graded, and his rookie sticker from the same year, 106 graded. I mean, that is nothing. I mean, are we missing? It is so tiny. That is absolutely nothing.
I think those numbers will double at least. I think from that Messi, because we still haven't realized, remember, from September, the Messi sale. So, I mean, following that, I wonder how many more Mega Cracks Messi rookie cards have gone in. That's why in all his rookie cards, the 35, 62, 89, and so on. And his essay sticker, how many more have gone in? I don't suppose a lot, but yeah, it would be
you'd think at least a double, triple.
Yeah, maybe double, maybe.
Well, it'll be very interesting. I mean, this video will be up on YouTube forever, so it'll be very interesting. We'll definitely do a follow-up in 3 months' time. And no matter when you're listening to this at home, you can just go onto the PSA Pop Report. You can check yourself how many Messi cards are graded.
It will still be small, very small, comparable with other sports stars. You know?
Yeah, with other sports, super tiny, super tiny.
And then, I think they may remain like that. There'll be a little bit more, and then they'll remain like that because there weren't a lot produced, globally. So
this is quite interesting. I have a few of these myself. I have 5 of the Mbappe rookie stickers, the Panini foot.
I love that.
688 of them have been graded, and there's 135 so that's a lot more than the Messi.
Wow.
So there's basically more Mbappe rookie stickers than there are than Ronaldo. Basically, it's triple what Ronaldo has graded.
That's surprising for a sticker to grade over 100 times.
And then
10.
The other modern player that I looked at, it was Haaland. His Bundesliga sticker, number 32, the Austrian Bundesliga, when he was at Salzburg, Red Bull, 332 have been graded, of which 74 are 10s. And I think that will also change a lot. I mean, Haaland is, along with Mbappe, they're the 2 biggest, probably, young gun names at the moment.
And remember, guys, that Haaland sticker, there are 3 editions of that. There's 3 print runs of that sticker. So, and how many did you say? 70?
332 have been graded, of which 74 were 10s. 74.
74 10s. Wow.
And you have a 10, don't you?
I've got 2 10s. I'm selling one right now on eBay. But yeah, just because I've got one. So
if anybody wants a PSA 10 for a premium, you can speak to Marky Mark over here, and maybe he'll cut you a deal. Who knows? He's in high demand at the moment.
Guys, this is what we're going to bring to you, the soccer pop reports every quarter. So tell us what you think about all the charts and stats that we've brought regarding the soccer market, soccer graded market, and let us know your thoughts and give us a thumbs up. And thanks so much, PJ, for entertaining us with that shirt, and we'll see you very soon, I'm sure.
Thanks for having me on. See you again.
Thanks.